gonna cut to the chase. Remember the Deplorable Choir? Don't lie, I know you do.
Real women vote for Trump!
Yeah, so that happened. And you might be laying in your bed at night thinking to yourself, wonder what they're up to. Well, that's why I'm here, to find out. Because I do have a morbid curiosity for stuff like this. A bit like people who watch true crime. I mean, you know what tickles my fancy? Watching people who think they're better singers than they actually are.
No, there ain't no smoking gun.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Mooknee, and this is the first YouTube channel where all videos are written and produced by a cow. Yeehaw! So she couldn't appear in today's video, but if you like and subscribe, she might appear in the next one. Anyways, now that Trump is almost out of the picture, you may quite rightly ask, aren't the Deplorable Choir now obsolete? I mean, I would argue they always were. I say that, but they had, and still have, quite a following. And the girl group are still going strong. Well, they lost a member. No, she didn't die. She just left out of embarrassment. Can't imagine why. So this is their most viewed video, and I have to say the like to dislike ratio does give me a little bit of hope for humanity. When this lady's kid is all grown up and their credit score is demolished because she used their name to invest in her latest MLM venture, this video will be at least some comfort to them. To know that they're not the only ones that harbour really strong feelings of resentment towards her. MLM mums, am I right? Ladies, I have a little proposal for you. How about I edit your videos for you? Because there was this awkward and the sound and the visuals are kind of out of sync.
My God, vote Republican. You like paying for illegals.
It's a bit of a mess, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I even plan on offering my services for free, with one condition. You have to wear a mask out in public, and you can't complain about it for a week. Can you handle that?
I refuse. I don't even bring a mask with me. I'm not buying into that bullshit. I am so legit angry. It's bullshit. It's freaking bullshit. So you know what? You know how you can help contribute to, stopping the spread of stupidity? Go places, don't wear your mask, and cause a ruckus. Like, people have to fight back. We can't just sit here and be silent anymore.
Okay, never mind then. Now, you might think, hey, Tara, aren't you being a bit mean? No, you've got me all wrong. I actually like these ladies. They're living proof that I am not the worst dancer alive. I'm really grateful to them for that.
Attention, Mr. Mueller, better round up all your friends. I think it's real apparent where the real pollution is. Put handcuffs on Miss Clinton for that thing.
Now, in fairness to the Deplorable Choir, these songs are a couple of years old. Let's see some of their more recent work. Now, this video is from early 2020, and I must say the production value has significantly improved.
We're pro-bro. We love our men with beards.
But the cringe levels have somehow increased, so it kind of all balances out, doesn't it? Are you suggesting that you shag the deer? So let's do a deeper analysis of this video, which is called
Country Boy, I love you.
The musical. Now, I know it's quick to pause already, but that face is chef's kiss.
We don't care about money or what you bench. We just love our real men, so bring that real tree swag on home to me.
And they even feature their children and partners who don't look forced into it at all.
Oh yeah. We're pro-bro.
I can't believe that this move hasn't taken off on TikTok. I mean, it's perfect. And you don't need any dance ability to do it.
We love shooting guns and have
Now, their lips are still not in sync with the words, but it's got heart.
home to me.
I feel bad for the deer.
I am disgusted.
I think we need to take a moment to appreciate all that they went through and all that they saw. Hey, lady, leave the deer alone. And you? Now, as enjoyable and as easy as it is to poke fun at these ladies, I do need to touch on a more serious point. How the main lady, CJ, PJ, McKinsley, something like that, she is a super spreader of misinformation. She says a lot of silly things, which would be fine if she was just talking to her husband and her kids and fellow neighbourhood Karens, but she has a platform. And when you watch the rants from this lady, it's clear that she's got herself sucked into the MAGA cult.
Even if Trump doesn't get reelected or put into office, because he was reelected, I can promise you that, we're going to still fight. MAGA ain't going away. Like, we're here to stay, okay? We're not just contesting the election. We are here to protect the integrity of future elections.
Delusion. Convince yourself.
The she says does not make sense. It's as if she's like spitting out this stream of consciousness written by one of the writers on Fox News.
Seriously, on the left, all they like to do is talk about climate deniers, like we're all some climate deniers. Well, I want to talk about nature deniers, because right now in America we have a real problem, and that is the love is love and the marry whoever or whatever you want crowd is injecting their lunatic liberal policies all over our iconic American institutions. And I am talking about the Boy Scouts, because if you don't know it, they filed for bankruptcy because they have thousands and thousands of sexual harassment cases against them. And I know that means they're not finished, they're not completely closing, but to me and my household, it means that they are headed downhill faster than a snowball, headed for hell.
And the stuff she says just isn't backed by truth.
The Trump derangement syndrome is off the scales with the left. They have found their new Russian collusion, they have found their new Ukraine collusion, and it's called coronavirus, and they cannot wait to blame Trump for it. And let me tell you, the hypocrisy is outstanding, because it was just a few weeks ago when Trump banned travel from China that they were calling him a racist. What do you know? Anything you can do to blame our president. But listen here, if coronavirus is anything, it should be a warning. Bernie Sanders should never be in office, because what does he want? He wants socialized medicine because he is a communist.
Whoa, lady, slow down. Okay, there is a lot to unpack here, and I could probably do a 2-hour video on this, but I'll just quickly say, if you Google Bernie Sanders or anything about communism, you'll very quickly realise that he's not a communist. The stuff that he promotes is social democracy, not communism. But to these people, everything is communism. Oh, you took down your Confederate flag? Communism! Veganuary? Communism! Oh, your daughter's studying engineering? Communism! So she put out this video in February of 2020, and it did not age well. And you know, if she admitted she was wrong, then fine. But oh no, she is very much on the Trump train in January of 2021.
Trump needs our support. He's the best president ever.
Which was released on January 5th when she was in DC. Do you see what I'm getting at here?
MAGA ain't going away. Like, we're here to stay, okay? If anything, they've made this movement stronger. When you have 2 million patriots that show up in D.C., we're not just contesting the election. We are here to protect the integrity of future elections, right? Because we are supposed to have voices. This is America. And, I, in the best way I know how, am going to fight for that right.
Anyone who's in the FBI is watching this video like...
Fighting to save not just America, but the world.
I think your guy wants to burn the world to the ground. The Paris Climate Agreement has left the chat.
America is the best. I believe in American exceptionalism.
She would not want to come to the UK because honestly, whenever the US comes up over here, the first talking point is, God, aren't you glad we don't live there? I mean, no disrespect to Americans. Most of my subscriptions are American and some of my best friends are American. American friends, if you want to move to the UK, I'll marry you.
Oh, all these communists, globalism, no. It's people.
Do you see what I mean when I describe her rants as streams of consciousness? So I mentioned earlier that they lost a member. So let's talk about that. Now this one, who I'll just call Sarah, is the one who left the group. And I have to say, I was really surprised. Not that someone would want to leave the group but I was surprised that it was her who left. If you watch back their earlier videos, she is mega keen. I mean, look at her. She's loving it. Whereas this one, who I believe is called Lindsay, was always more tentative than the others. If I had to guess who would be the first to quit, it would have been her.
We're all under attack. We don't care if you're rich. Don't care if you're poor. We just know
embarrassment, obviously.
Delusion. Convince yourself.
When you play it, people do get aggravated, and we know that you lost one of your band members. Is that right? Because of all the criticism? Talk to me.
Yes, we've had criticism, a ton of criticism online. We pretty much are able to laugh that off, but obviously not everybody can take it as easily. And it's been more the in-person criticism from friends and family, from other moms our age that kind of made her back away, but
so that's their side of the story. Now, I could imagine that losing a band member would be really stressful. So, I am offering my services to help you find a new member. And I've come up with a few contenders. First, we have Lana Del Rey. I mean, look at that mask she's wearing. I think she'd be a great fit in your group. She's become the music industry's Karen. Another contender I found is a bit more underground. She has an undying passion for Trump, guns, and America. So I think being in your band could be a great opportunity for her. Some amazing exposure that she needs. I've got her audition tape here. Let's roll the clip.
My name is...
No freak out here.
And that's all I've got. I put out this casting call far and wide, but for some reason I struggled to get a lot of interest. Who wouldn't want fame and fortune to be part of such an iconic trio? And speaking of iconography, let's look at the Deplorable Choir merch. So there seems to be two places that you can get their merch. The first being their official website and the second being Teespring. First, let's check out the stuff on deplorablechoir.com. So there's a shirt here that says, "Free the face." So obviously they're referring to masks. And actually, that reminds me, I found a tweet from CJ. Remember when liberals would campaign to free the nipple? Now they want you to cover your face, stay home, and stop having sex. What a difference a year makes. Now, I'm no virologist, but nipples, nip, don't give you coronavirus. If theoretically you wanted to go out and you cut some holes in your top, you know, like in Mean Girls, as long as if you're still wearing a face mask, I wouldn't judge. That would be morally fine in my book. What a difference a year makes. Yeah, because a major event happened. Don't know if you missed that, CJ. In fairness, she probably thinks it's a hoax.
They have found their new Russian collusion, they have found their new Ukraine collusion, and it's called coronavirus. And
people have lost their businesses for a disease that has a lower death rate than the flu.
Now, despite how ugly these t-shirts are, they have sold out. You know what I reckon? I think they only made 5 of them, so they sold out, so they look more desirable. Because who would buy this? I think the people that would buy these are the same people that would buy those immensely personalised t-shirts that you get targeted ads for on Facebook. Now, let's mooch on over to their Teespring collection. Real women vote for Trump. And it's got pink, so it's MAGA, Girl Power Edition. There's a fleece blanket. Imagine napping with this on. The kind of dreams it would give you. Or nightmares in my case. And there's a beach towel. Gosh, there really is something for everyone on this website, isn't there? And baby growers, of course, so you can indoctrinate the children. I still can't get over the fact that there's a beach towel. You have to be a special kind of dedicated to the cause to get a beach towel promoting it. It does strike me as somewhat obsessive. Imagine if I got a beach towel with Pedro Pascal's face on it. Don't get me wrong, it would be pleasant to look at. Imagine how uncomfortable that would make him feel. It's hella creepy. Actually, you know what? I take that back. This is a bit different because I think Trump would get off from this. They have a Guns and God Appreciation Day t-shirt, which is an actual thing. It was an event in 2019, a repeat from 2013, where people gathered to support their unwavering right to the Second Amendment. The epidemic in America is directly correlated to our diminishing relationship with God. We have far too many God-free zones. The notion that guns are the problem is at odds with history. What changed? What is the root cause of these? The wedge the politically correct society has placed between to divide Americans from God. And to top it all off, they made a special gun song. Like a love song, but for guns. They really are a parody of themselves.
Guns can raise our kids, Put their arms around the world, teach them to love their neighbor.
I've just got to ask, why are the other two there? There's a version with just her, and there's barely any difference.
Guns don't need Jesus.
Sorry, what?
Guns don't need Jesus.
Guns don't eat Jesus.
Don't need Jesus.
Don't eat Jesus? Anyway, that is enough country folk for me today. I do quite like checking in on internet phenomena from a few years back, you know, just to see where they're at. And they're still going, which amazes me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you can become a subscription. And like this video because one like equals one mask for one of these ladies. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.